Right then, welcome back to the channel. My name is Stephen Howson, and this is 5 things that we learned watching Manchester United draw with West Brom. So in at number 1 then, United are slipping. This time last month, United was being spoken about, not by me, but they were being spoke about as being in a title challenge or potentially being in a title challenge. And now I thought that was unlikely for a number of reasons. And even though I wanted to be able to say United was in a title race, I also wanted to pump the brakes on it and just park it for a little bit. At some point you're in a title race. If you're 35 games in and there's a couple of points in it, you're in a title race. If there's 3 games gone and you're top of the league, you're not in a title race. And I didn't think Christmas you're in a title race. I think 25 games even that I was saying was maybe, it was a throwaway comment really, and I just kind of stuck with it. But realistically, until the 25, 30 game mark, anything can happen. You can be 4 games to go with 12 points on the table and still lose the league. You can't call yourself in a title race this early when it's so tight and there's too many teams around. So I was very reluctant to call it a title race, but the wheels have started to sort of slip off a little bit and loosen, and United are at risk of potentially falling off. When you look at some of the games that we've had and some of the points that we've failed to accumulate, we picked up 10 points from our last 7 games. Now, it's 10 from a possible 21, and we'd all love to sit here and say, yeah, 21 means 21, and ultimately, we had the chances and we didn't take them. Now, some games in that run, you would go, okay, I don't mind taking a draw there, maybe the Everton one. Maybe even the Arsenal one, maybe. But when you've played all 3 teams that are in the relegation zone, and they're not just in the relegation zone, they're in the relegation zone by some way. Let's be real with ourselves. It feels like a missed opportunity. We only managed to take 4 points off the teams that are rock bottom. They're rock bottom by some distance. They're not going to stay up. I wouldn't be shocked to see all 3 of those teams currently in the relegation zone relegated. Now, Newcastle's another team that's struggling, and with Leicester and Chelsea picking up wins the way they are doing, United can't let this slip again. I mean, they can, but if you've got serious ambitions of being comfortably inside that top 4, you really can't. You really got to start picking up wins against the likes of your West Broms, your Sheffield Uniteds, your Newcastles. We've got to do it. Number 2, more Bruno magic. So, one of the disappointing things about United's last 2 draws is the fact Bruno Fernandes has scored some sensational goals worthy of contributing to a win, and they haven't. So they probably get forgotten. It's like Rooney's goal in the Champions League final. No one cares. They didn't mean anything. Now, Fernandes was probably poor for the most part yesterday, but he came up with a moment of absolute brilliance with a volley. He stuck right in the top bins just before half-time. Luke Shaw, who's now provided more assists than any other player in 2021, check that out, with 4, putting a pinpoint cross for Bruno, who fired in a left foot volley right into the top corner, the goalkeeper didn't even move. Another world-class moment that's going to be overshadowed because of a poor result. And 3, Martial went missing. So Martial has been below par, I think it's safe to say, for the majority of this season, and was no different yesterday. Before being hooked around the hour mark, Martial completed no dribbles, created no chances, and didn't even have a single shot. Now, some people on some of the streams we did yesterday were saying, well, we didn't create anything for him. But listen to that, no dribbles completed. Did he get on the ball at all? Well, you had opportunities there. You had opportunities to create for others. You had opportunities to create for yourself. No dribbles. You've got to start working hard. If it's not working, work harder. That's the disappointing thing with Martial, is that when it's not going right, he doesn't seem willing to just start digging in and make things happen. Now, Rashford by no means is in amazing form whatsoever, but United have got to stop forcing him over the right to accommodate him, because that's making 2 players suffer. When Marcus goes over to the right-hand side, you limit him to just dribble and cross. You don't get any goal threat from Rashford when he's on that right-hand side, and time again, you saw him in goal-scoring positions. He can't do it on his left foot. He's not played there often enough to be comfortable doing that. And we're seeing like a poor result for him for doing that. When he's played off the left, recently against Liverpool, he played him off the left, gets a goal and assist, looks sensational. It's simple for me, and that one is on Ollie. I know there's not a lot of options to change it up, but I wish he would change it up there and try and bring somebody else in to try and get the best out of the players who can perform, rather than accommodating those who aren't. Number 4, Dave saves. So De Gea wasn't necessarily a cert to start, I don't think, yesterday, and personally I would have probably started Henderson between the sticks, but he actually saves United from an even worse result. He made a couple of key saves to deny Diagne, who might have even potentially had a hat-trick. How mad does that even sound? But he also bailed out Harry Maguire in a big way, because Harry Maguire went down in his own box, and this for me is unforgivable. I don't like when forwards go over easy. I really don't. But it's absolutely inexcusable for a defender to go down easy looking for a foul. What is that about? Clear the danger. You can't rely on a referee to make the right decision there and be like, oh, that was a foul. Yeah, let's pull that back. Clear the danger. When was the last time anyone looked at United's defence and was like, God, that's intimidating? That needs to change. We can't be going up against teams that just don't respect us. Diagne, Big Sam, West Brom, they looked at United yesterday and went, we're going to have a good old time with them. And they had a good old time with us. It might have been Valentine's Day, but we were the only ones putting out. Absolute shambles. Now, Henderson, I think, deserves more games for United. Maybe United need to look at the Europa League and the FA Cup and say, this is the time for us to get some players match ready, whether that's Van der Beek, whether that's Diallo, whether that's Greenwood, whoever that is, maybe that's Tony Marshall played down the middle. We have to use those games for me to get some people match ready and match fit. In the meantime, putting our best 11 out in the league, because that's where we're going to be judged. Number 5, a tricky run ahead. So we came through that Christmas period and sort of stumbled a little bit towards the back end of January after what was an incredible run of performances from Manchester United. Next up in the league, we have got Newcastle, which is sandwiched in between a couple of Europa League ties against Sociedad, followed by Chelsea and City away, and then West Ham at home. That is a make or break run for United. An absolute make or break run. If we can go into that double header with City and Chelsea on the back of a 3-game winless run, it'll be horrific. It will be absolutely horrific. And it won't just be a 3-game winless run, because it's going to have extended past this week, innit? Newcastle will be stubborn, but they're also beatable. So United need to go there with the confidence that you can actually do that to Newcastle. Going into March, United need to avoid getting dragged into being a battle for the top 4. We need people to sort of look at us and go, oh, we're probably not going to catch maybe United and Leicester, but that 4th space, that's up for grabs a little bit. We can't get dragged into that fight because it's going to be so tight for that 4th spot. It's too much of a risk. United need to get the business done in the league. And if we can pick up a cup on the way, fantastic. Because that will be a real feeling of progress. Yes, we finished comfortably inside the top 4. We also picked up a trophy. Up the fucking Reds. But I don't want to get dragged into that quagmire, because if you don't start picking up wins, it's far too tight and you will absolutely fall like a stone. Liverpool can just go like that. It can happen to us as well. So United need to take this very seriously, and every game is a must-win. And I know that's a minging cliche, but it is, because the league's too rough and too tight at the moment. And we've got some horrible, horrible games coming up. That's it from me anyway. Make sure to check out the Patreon group to help support this channel, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Laters.